Okay, as I was saying, we will answer a lot of questions around pricing a product. How do cloud services price their products? How do retail services price their products? What is the impact of this pricing on us as consumers? And how do we as product managers and entrepreneurs think about even pricing? How do we even begin? Where do we even start? So those are some of the questions that we will answer. And I hope I'm able to cover it in 1 hour. So first of all, right, this was the last slide I put in my deck after going through the entire set of 30 odd slides that I have put. And I realized that pricing is more human psychology than mathematics. And this is my biggest takeaway for you at the end of this meeting. So at the end of these 30 slides, if you are with me, that you know what, pricing was all about human psychology and less about whether to put it $399 or $499, then I think so we have a winner here. Okay, keep this in mind and we will go forward. So when we're talking about pricing, right, it reminds me of one of my MBA institute professors, okay, where he taught this concept to me in a very simple manner. I want to teach that concept back to you and I will correlate this concept all the way through, right? So when I think about price, think about any product, okay? Think about a book, think about iPhones, okay? The very first thing that Apple would think when they're trying to price an iPhone is, how much did that iPhone cost them, right? Let's say the cost of the iPhone is $99. Let's think that for a minute, right? Now, the price of iPhone will have to be greater than 99. Do you all agree? I hope we are in complete agreement there, that the cost has to be, or the price has to be slightly above the cost. But how much? $100, $128, $999? Why not $10,000? How far up can I go on my pricing? This is where the second upper limit of pricing comes, and that upper limit is called the reservation price. Think of reservation price as, in my mindset, this is the maximum price I will ever pay as a consumer to the company. So if the cost of iPhone is $99, and let's say in my mind, the reservation price is $7.99, then the price of iPhone has to be between 99 and 799. You place it above 799, I won't buy it. You place it below 799. Now, where should you place? Should you place somewhere here, like somewhere at like $4.99, or do you place somewhere here at $7.98? What should be the right price? Now, this is where third aspect is the actual price you put. Now, as an entrepreneur or a product manager, you need to think this way, right? There are two values here. One is price minus cost. Second one is reservation price minus price. The price minus cost is the value that you get as an entrepreneur, as a product manager, as an organization, as a retailer, whoever you are. The reservation price minus price is the value that the customer gets. If the cost of iPhone is 99 and the reservation price is 799, you want to put the price in such a manner that maximizes your value and the customer value at the same time. Does that make sense? Now, when I'm saying maximize that value, what does that mean? I'm going to show you various constructs by which I'm going to fluctuate this price up or down depending upon how you want to approach this price. A lot of it will not just depend on value. It will also depend on your product, the state of your product, what are you trying to accomplish, your business objectives, yada, yada, yada. So let's start. Okay. First thing that we need to understand is COGS, cost of goods sold. Just a concept. If you don't know, just remember, cost of goods sold is basically the cost of your product. It could be your production cost, your marketing cost, your sales cost, shipping and handling cost. Okay. Now imagine I'm trying to sell a t-shirt. If I'm selling a t-shirt, then at what price should I sell this t-shirt? One way of approaching this is the cost method. Okay. Where I say the material costed me $10. The labor costed me $5. The shipping and handling costed me $7, which by virtue of which the COGS of my t-shirt is $22. I want to place it at slightly higher value than 22. As I said, my cost is 22. So let me place it at $30 so that at least I make $8, right? And if you do the math, then 8 divided by 32, some 30% markup I'm taking. This is called the cost plus pricing. This is the first method of pricing. I am more than happy if you guys want to take screenshots, take notes, post it anywhere, because this session is going to be very theoretical and practical at the same time. So you may end up taking a lot of notes. Okay. So cost plus pricing is one way of costing your product, where you basically do the current cost plus the markup, which is equal to price. Keep in mind that cost plus markup is equal to price cannot be greater than the reservation price that I just talked about. It has to be lesser than the reservation price. If you feel that I want to place it at $130 and the customers feel, nah, that's above my reservation price, you are not going to sell this t-shirt. I'll also come to how do you even calculate the reservation price. One very big advantage of this is this costing is very simple. If you're trying to sell a product, you know your cost, you know your markup. If you want to say that, oh, I've spent this much, I need to sell my products at least 30% markup, then this becomes very easy. It's very simple. But there are some issues with this, right? This kind of methodology is completely oblivious to competition and market. You have no idea that your competition is manufacturing the same t-shirt at $5. If your competition is manufacturing at $5, then they may sell it for $25, which means your t-shirt is not going to sell because of competitive pricing. If you see, a lot of time and material based projects which are run by consulting firms operate on this model. They will have a dollar value to their resources and they will say, I want at least $25 per hour for my resource plus 28% margin. Therefore, the total cost that I want from my customer is whatever, right? So a lot of consulting firms operate in this model. The second methodology, and this is just theory, huh? Stay with me on the theory part. We'll come to practicals as well. The second, I have seen this so many times in US, where either I go to Target or Best Buy or some of these companies, right? They will have something like this. We'll match the price in store if you find identical item or less at a local competitor. Select online retailer or target.com. This is an actual screenshot from target.com. Basically, what they're trying to tell you is, guys, my product is for $14. If another guy, another competitor is selling you the same product for $12, I will match the price. What is this pricing? It's competitor pricing. I will match my competitor's price. As simple as that. A lot of companies do it. I've seen Target, Best Buy, etc. all do it. Radio Shack was a company in US which used to do that a lot. Or they would give you money back, etc., etc. if you're able to show the receipt, or even an online portal link saying that this product that you're selling for $14 is for $12. So they'll just match the price. Now here, if you see, right, there is a cost to the product. As I said, maybe there is a $12 cost to this product that Target is selling. The competitor may be higher or lower, right? Let's assume the competitor's price is $14. Okay? Your cost is $12. Target could be selling this product at either $15 or $13. Let's assume that, right? It could be either lower or more. Just think for a moment. Why would Target sell a product higher than the competitor's price or lower than the competitor's price? Any takers? Or would they always match? Would they always say, come and match it at $14? Any takers to this answer? Should I price my product at 15? Should I price it at 13? Or should I price it at exactly 14? Any answers?
It also depends on the quality. So if your quality is much better, if your distribution channel is better, if your brand has higher equity, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much the competitor has priced it. So you should go by your way, right?
Sure.
I think either match or make it lower.
Okay.
The call to make it lower, the driving factors will be like, if I am looking at, there is a huge inventory which I want to, just, get rid of, or like, I have a huge inventory of a product which is a perishable or something of that nature. And I know that, if I have to really move the product to the customer, then I may want to bring it down. But if it's something which is non-perishable, then I would like to just match it with the competitor and try and sell the product at that price.
I'll say it is in confidence building measure. So out of 100 people, how many of them will measure or see what the competitor is pricing, right? Because most of the places like Target and all, if there are 10 products, at least 5 products will be less than all the competitors, and another 3 products will be equal, and another 2 products will be always higher. So that's how they operate.
You're absolutely right. Actually, all answers are right, because in MBA there was one thing that was taught to us, and the one thing that was taught to us was it depends. Okay, the price of the product, whether it should be 15, 14 or 13, depends. It depends on my business strategy. If I'm placing it higher, as somebody said, it could be because my product quality is good, and you've seen it in several examples, right? I could place it lower if I want to show economy. If I want to be projected as the company that sells economic products, I could place it exactly at the competition price if my strategy is not to lose the customer. All 3 strategies are right, and we have live examples for it. Starbucks is always higher, price of the coffee is very high if you see compared to CCD or anything. Why? Because it's cappuccino is cappuccino, but they price it almost double the price of cafe coffee day because of quality. Economic, you see Walmart, DMart, you get the same cookie in DMart or Walmart at a lower price than in your mom and pop shop. Why? Because they want to show economies of scale. You go to Amazon, you'll find something cheaper. Why? Because they want to give you the economy, the benefit of scale back to the customers, right? So the answer to where you price based on your competition depends on your product and business strategy. Okay. And a golden mantra for any question that I ask is, it depends. Okay. Because almost all answers are right. Moving next. This is a very flashy picture of a product launch. And this was the year when iPhone 10 was launched. And I want you to focus on the price of iPhone 8 for a minute. Okay. It's for $699. I think so we all agree that when iPhone was launched, it did not have much competition. Even today, the fan following of iPhone is such that those who are iPhone enthusiasts, they don't find a competition which is equivalent to iPhone. Now, what do you do as an iPhone or an Apple company where you do not find competition at all? Where do you place the product? Like imagine iPhone when it was launched, there was no such product equivalent, right? Then how do you find the right value for the product? Should it be $449, $599? Why not $2,000? Because there is no competition. There is no reservation price. How do I know? Okay. Now here is where we come to the third type of pricing, and I will talk about it. Again, I'll go back to my diagram because everything is related to that diagram. There is some cost. On top of that cost, there is some value that the customer is getting. Now that value of the iPhone could be various things, right? I know there is some reservation price. I'll come to that. And I don't know that reservation price. It's a question mark. Now, what is that value that I get when I am an iPhone holder? I get security. I know it's a very secure device. There is ease of use. The UX is awesome. It's undivided, unbelievable. Maybe nobody has been able to replicate it because of patents. There are some other things as well. It's a fashion statement. Not only that, it's a status symbol. It's way more than functionality. It's no more security and ease of use. If I am carrying an iPhone 13, then I want to show off and I say, oh, can you click a picture using my iPhone instead of the phone? You will say that, right? Because it's a status symbol. Oh, there is some joy. There is an absolute joy of holding the phone. Imagine for a moment, if you're an entrepreneur and if you are able to put dollar values against each of these values, the value that the customer gets. You getting it? Because if you remember, I said this is your value and this is the customer's value. And at the end, the customer will have a reservation price beyond which the customer won't go. When you launch products which are absolutely uncompetitive in nature, then you go for value-based pricing. You evaluate the value that the customer may get and will be comfortable But at the same time, you need to ensure while your value increases, the customer's value also stays intact. You can't place your product price just below the reservation price. Actually, there's no harm in doing that. But there are very interesting anecdotes where how do you make sure that you maintain a fine balance between your business value and the customer's value? And this is where you find the sweet spot. In value-based pricing, the biggest advantage or the biggest positive is that you do value-based pricing when you are in a non-competitive space where you are able to provide value to the customers that nobody else is doing, right? Because you are one of your own and you don't need to have an iPhone type of completely differentiated product. You just need to find your niche as to what your niche is with respect to that particular product. Now, while I'm talking about this, you see that I have marked something in green and something in blue. There is a reason behind it. The reason behind this is, again, I'm going to take you back to my MBA class because it's very important for us to understand that how do we even find this value? I have just written 5. There could be 500. How do you find value for the product that you are building? This is where you start. This is called the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Okay. For those who are unaware, please read it. It is called the Maslow's hierarchy. What is this Maslow's hierarchy? Very important for us to understand. If you see from bottom to top, we go from psychological needs, which are like necessities I just need it for my living. Then we go to safety, which is self-explanatory. Then comes belongingness, friends and relations. Then comes my esteem, my prestige, feeling of accomplishment, and my self-actualization, which is my creative side, my potential, where you are able to explore my inner self, right? Believe me, these hierarchies were written for human needs. These hierarchies have transcended into product offerings as well. What feeling do you get when you go to a pharmacy store, when you go to Apollo, or when you go to any pharmacy store of your choice, right? The answer is it depends. If let's say you are going to buy Crocin and somebody is sick, etc., you need that medicine bad. You will feel very happy when you find the medicine. What if you go to that medicine store and you don't find the medicine? You'll feel very dejected, right? What feeling do you get when you go buy milk? You are almost feelingless, right? Why? Because milk lana hai, doodh lana hai, big deal. What feeling do you get when you go to the mall? You feel very happy. You don't have this feeling of, I'm going to the mall. It doesn't happen. Why? Because a different need is being met when you go to the mall. Different need is being met when you go to the pharmacy. Different need is being met when you go and get milk. Okay. Products operate exactly the same way. If I say I am an internet service provider, these days internet capabilities are your psychological needs. These are basic necessities. You will not have an aha moment ever saying, wow, I'm getting internet today. How many of us feel like that? No, right? But if I take away internet from you, you will crib. These are called psychological needs. How many of us feel, oh, thank you God that you provided me water today? Nobody feels like that. But when I take away water, you will crib. So that's your psychological need. If you could think like products like Naukri.com, right? This is your safety and security. It's not that, oh, Naukri.com is not there, etc., etc. It's need-based. But at the end of the day, Naukri.com is giving you your job safety, your job security. Once that security and safety is met, you will vouch for that particular application forever. Look at Facebook. Facebook helps you meet your friends and relationships. By the way, I'm taking some products to see where they are. There could be possibilities that for some people, Facebook is a psychological need. For somebody who's building their business on Facebook, for them it is money, it's their living, it's their bread and butter. So Facebook could be psychological need. Therefore, it is safety also. Because if Facebook goes down or my account gets deleted, I don't have a source of income. I cannot provide for my family. And Facebook also helps me connect with my family. So you see the same product is transcending boundaries. If you see LinkedIn, I posted LinkedIn here because I started observing something, right? People start putting their accomplishments on LinkedIn in search of acknowledgement. So therefore, there is a feeling of accomplishment. Here, I did something, therefore I need to share with others so that maybe I can inspire them or I feel a pat on my back that I did something good. I have put Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator here. And the reason I put it is I had to interview my designer friend. And I asked him, buddy, which application do you use to create illustrations? He said Illustrator. And I said, tell me more about it. Like, how do you feel when you use Illustrator? Now he's a very passionate designer. And this was his response. He said, when I have to create illustrations, right, time lapses for me. I could be working on an illustration the whole night and I won't realize. And by the time it's done, I'm very happy. But when people critique it, I don't feel happy. Why? Because Illustrator type of product is opening up his creative side, right? It is really opening up his potential. Therefore, Illustrator I have put in that self-actualization, the creative side, right? When you are building your products, you have to figure out at which stage of value is your product offering. If you see Apple, if you see in my earlier example, I said Apple is providing me fashion, status and joy. Fashion, status and joy is not psychological need or safety. It's beyond that. When products, now this is something I'm going to say, please remember this. When products operate in this space, right, you build users and customers. When products start operating in this space, right, you build fans. You don't have users and customers. You have fans. You ship a bug, they will say that's exactly how the product should be built. That's the kind of aura that products create when you're operating at belongingness, esteem, and self-actualization. Therefore, you find the value of your product according to this hierarchy and try to put a dollar value to it. How much dollar value do I want to put to prestige, to feeling of accomplishment, and therefore you price your product. And I will talk about how to do that as well. Let's continue with iPhone because iPhone is an amazing example on pricing. If you see here, right, when I showed you last, I said iPhone is for $699. This was when the iPhone 10 was introduced. Okay, stay with me for the next few slides. Okay, here iPhone 10 Max was introduced. iPhone 8 price is $599. So it went down from $699 to $599. Next year, when iPhone 11 Pro Max was released, iPhone 8, poor guy, from $699 to $599 to $449. What is happening here? Why is iPhone 8 on the receiving end of Apple? Why is that price reducing? Can I put the same thing in the same structure that I put earlier? So if you remember, there is a cost and I build those value dabba diagrams on top. And therefore I said the price of iPhone is $699, which is lower than the reservation price of the customer, which could be maybe $999, right? Think of it that way. Now, what happens every year as time progresses? Keep in mind, time is a very important concept here because when I launched iPhone 8 and I put the price above my cost and below my reservation price, I am not targeting the laggard users of iPhone 8. I am targeting the early adopters, the fanatics, the fans of iPhone 8, whose reservation price will be very, very high. At even this time, at time is equal to whatever, 2010 when it was launched. I don't know the time, I've just put it like that. There will be few people whose reservation price for iPhone 8 will be $500. They are not my customers. If your reservation price for an iPhone 8 type of product is $500, then you are not my customer in T is equal to 2010. You come to me later. You come to me in T is equal to 2011 when the reservation price has reduced. Why has the reservation price reduced? Because I have launched a new product with better features, with better value. Therefore, the reservation price of my previous iPhone 8 has reduced and therefore I am willing to reduce the price to $599. Still, this guy is saying, "Arey, what is this? $599, it's still not $500. You wait for another year, sir. You come to year 2012 and this is where your reservation price of $500 is met and you can go buy that product for $499. This is what iPhone does or Apple does. They keep reducing the price of the product not because they want to launch other products. It's because the reservation price of that product is reducing. And it's not that there is no market for that product. There is a market for that product. As time progresses, it goes from fans to laggards. And laggards does not mean bad people. Laggards just mean I want to wait for the technology to evolve, or I want to wait for the price to go down so that I can buy. For you as an entrepreneur, both fans and laggards are important. You can't let go of laggards thinking that, oh, I just want to build product for fans. It doesn't work that way. You have to cater to both the segments. And the next thing you know, because you've reduced the price, maybe your sales are short. Okay. So that's how these products are evaluated. What this concept is called price skimming. Generally, you can do price skimming if you have a standout product which has strong differentiators, which is exactly what I was telling you about value-based pricing. If you do not, now imagine if I am like, have you seen something similar with other products launched by Samsung or Android or any other company, right? With me, etc., etc. Go and do that research. You will find if the product is not standout, which means the product does not have this huge market of laggards, there will be products which will come and will be shelved. They will not go through this journey of reducing prices or price skimming, because this product it's a great standout product with strong differentiators. Therefore, you are able to do price skimming. Maybe, I don't know, I'm just taking name, maybe Xiaomi does not do it, right? I'm just calling it out. Maybe they also do it. Okay, the next pricing strategy, if you remember, all of us, Jio, for those who are in India, Jio had a lot of offers. Jio welcome offer, then there was a Happy New Year offer, and so on and so forth. And these offers never ceased to exist. If you see, they started in September 2016, went all the way to March 2017, even in 2018 and 2019, they kept having offers for us as consumers so that we can keep consuming their products. Why? Because they were trying to do introductory pricing. When Jio entered the market, their business strategy was, I want to build a strong cohort so that I can consume the customers from the Airtels and the Vodafones and Ideas of the world. They could not have taken the customers had they not competed on pricing. See, because phone services are phone services. It's a non-differentiated space. You are not creating a tremendous value there. Why? Because it's just a phone service, right? The switching cost for you moving from Airtel to Jio is very low, as long as the basic tenets or the basic table stakes are met. And the basic table stakes are, when I make a call, the call should go. And when I roam around, the call should go. That's all, right? I should be able to talk. That's your table stake. Assuming that table stake is met by everyone, assuming that you're operating in a market which is highly undifferentiated, okay, then you compete on pricing. Now, introductory pricing gives you great market penetration. This is like, oh, you are selling papayas for 100 rupees. I will sell papayas for 80 rupees. And then maybe Viresh will come and sell papayas for 60 rupees. And Sripad comes and sells papayas for 50 rupees. At the end of the day, what are we doing? We are burning cash. If you have big pockets, burn cash. For most of us, at least in this cohort, I don't believe we'll be operating in this space. So assume you never heard this, okay? Because we will never be operating in a space where we'll start burning cash. Try to be at the space of creating value. Therefore, you can demand pricing. Instead of, oh, there is already a Zomato and there is already a Swiggy, so I will also launch, and guess what? I will sell my Chola Bhatura for 100 rupees instead of 120. You will just burn cash, and eventually the customer will win. In the short term, in the long term, even customer will lose, because you will burn cash, Zomato will burn cash, Swiggy will burn cash. All three of you will go out of business and then enjoy. Now, this introductory pricing that I talked about, right, is seen at various times, and you would have seen it. There is sale, there is end of season sale, there is buy one get one free, and I think so we were talking about this a few minutes back. You do this introductory pricing at various phases of your product. It may not be only when you have introduced the product. This is called penetration pricing. You are trying to penetrate the market for a particular product, for a particular timeline. You would do it for various reasons. It could be for inventory clearance, seasonal penetration, new product launches, promotions, inventory management. Somebody said my inventory is too much. Shipper, I think so. You said I need to get rid of my inventory. I need to. Oh, there is season, and in this season I need to sell something more, etc., etc., etc. Right? You can do penetration pricing when you are launching products, assuming that that penetration pricing is meeting one of your business objectives. That business objective could be any, right? It could be maybe this is coming out of your marketing budget. This is how you market. Okay, this is maybe coming out of your cost of acquisition of a customer because you are selling one product free with another. Maybe that's assuming that you are assuming that to be a cost of acquisition, etc., etc. But again, this could be a business strategy. It's definitely and almost always time bound. It's not always. Even the introductory pricing I talked about from Jio was time bound. It's not that it continued forever. When they had a significant 33% of the market, then they eased out the introductory offers and their pricing went fine. I don't think so. This penetration pricing and introductory pricing is something that we as product managers should follow. We should talk about value creation. I'm again repeating what I just said earlier. Here comes our cloud products. Okay, now you will see so far a lot of my examples were retail based. Now I want to get into SaaS and PaaS and some of the products that you guys will be building, right? This is a screenshot from GitHub pricing. Now, take a look at this pricing. I will talk about what you are seeing here and then we will try to rationalize it. What are they saying? They are saying, guys, you are getting some of these services, 2000 CI/CD per minute, per month, 500 MB of package storage, etc., for $0 per year forever. Why? Because now imagine what GitHub may be thinking, right? GitHub may be thinking, see, until you are here, right? You are just using 500 MB of package. You're just using 2000 CI/CD minutes. You are sure you have a lot of repos. You have new issues and projects. Basically, I'm giving you something for free. But I am giving you something for free until you grow. When you are using 2000 CI/CD minutes per minute per month, you are very small. But yeah, you can't afford your own business. What you can't pay me in any case. Great pricing strategy. They are saying once you are at least as big as 3000, right? Then you start paying me $40 instead of 48. Okay. And you pay me $40 only for 12 months. Okay. Per user. Not that big. If you're using 500 MB of package storage, you're too small. Oh, if you have grown big and you need 2 GB of package storage, you are big enough to start paying me. And guess what? When you pay me, it's not that I've just increased this. I've given you more capabilities as well. Something that we refer to as freemium, that you get something for free and then you get something for premium at an additional cost as you engage or as you grow. There is more. Once you are even bigger, right? Once you need 50,000 CI/CD minutes, 50 GB of package storage, and of course a ton of other services, I will charge you even more, $212, because by this time you are an enterprise. You are no more a small team. See the terminology? The terminology is almost getting associated with where are you with your product journey and your maturity. What is this called? It's called volume pricing. You are increasing the price per unit as and when you grow. Very big advantage. If you see, as long as you are small, I am making less revenue. But once you grow, I can make more revenue. One very, very, very big advantage of this type of pricing is you get options to upgrade. If I feel that I need this pages and wiki capabilities so much, I value this so much that I am willing to pay $40 because for me, the reservation price for this feature is $50, then I'm there. You have given me an option to upgrade. And I will also talk about what issues or what mistakes do entrepreneurs make, okay? But imagine, GitHub has done it so beautifully. They are saying, guys, if you want to upgrade, I have so many choices for you. And guess what? Look at this. If you want to go from here to here, you just continue with team. You want to go from here to here, you contact my sales team because maybe I have some better deals for you. Maybe you want 40,000 licenses. then I will not charge you 210. Maybe I will charge you 208, right? Because your reservation price will reduce if your number of seats are high. So therefore you contact sales. You don't just pay and get going, right? So therefore this enterprise license has more options. You have given a lot of choice. You've given a lot of upgrade options. Now I said less revenue. What may give you more revenue? What may give you more revenue is something called tiered pricing. Now, what is the difference between volume pricing and tiered pricing? Look at this carefully. This is one of my products called Azure DevOps. See the difference. There's a very subtle difference. You see, here also there are tiers, right? They say, oh, you pay me so much and you get so much. You start free and then you keep paying me. But look at this. Look at this rate card at the bottom, right here. See the difference. They say 0 to 2 GB is free. 2 to 10 GB is $2 per GB. And so on and so forth. See the difference. There is a subtle difference. According to GitHub, they are saying, guys, as long as you are under 2000 minutes for CI/CD, you are $0. Once you are whatever, 400, whatever, 5000 minutes, right? You pay me a lump sum value of $40. And once you reach here, whatever dollar, 50,000 minutes or something, right? You pay me $250. Here, it is not doing that. It is saying there is a tier-based pricing. 2 GB, you are free. 2 to 10 GB, you pay me something. 10 to 100 GB, you pay me something. 100 to 1000 GB, you pay me something. There is a tiering of pricing happening here. It's not a static price. Okay. Therefore, in tiered pricing, you may get higher revenues, but it can get confusing for users. A lot of users will open up calculators to find out how much do I even need to pay you? Because now I have to start metrics, right? Oh, if I'm using 10 GB, then 0 to 2 GB I'm free. 2 to 10 GB I have to pay, and so on and so forth. It can get confusing. But for you, remember, there are few very big advantages of both tiered and this structured pricing or layered pricing, as I would like to call, right? Is that you are giving options to your users to upgrade as they go. These two mechanisms are very popular in SaaS and PaaS based pricing models. You will hardly see a SaaS or PaaS based product model which is not giving you options for tiered based pricing. One very big advantage of it is you have given your customers the choice. You are growing with the customer. You are not charging the customer upfront when the customer is also dabbling with your product or the customer is growing. Therefore, you are in line with your customer. Okay. So very popular pricing models. Keep in mind when you price your own products. Now, I'm going to a particular pricing model, which I don't know how many of us will actually do. Some of us may do it, but this is important. What you're seeing right now is an Xbox. Now, why am I showing you an Xbox? The reason I'm showing you an Xbox is because as Microsoft, we sell Xbox hardware at a loss. You remember the old funda? There is a price, there is a reservation price, this is reservation price. I said that, this is cost. I will always put price between cost and reservation price. Here I am saying, oh, hang on. The price is below the cost. Why would I do that? Why would I sell a product at a loss? The reason I would do it is because this is called loss-based pricing, which is similar to what we may know as razor-based pricing, because Microsoft and for that matter, any gaming company is not accruing any revenue using these hardware devices. We make money on the games. This is an independent product which has a dependency called these games. Therefore, we make money on these games. And if we have an ecosystem of games which is well developed for this product, we don't care. We will make enough money. It's exactly the same way that when you buy a razor blade, Gillette sells you the razor blade at a loss. They make money on the actual blades. It's the same way that you buy a printer, may not be at a loss, but at almost equal to cost. But they make money on cartridges and inks. If you focus closely, and I want you to independently verify that. Canon earlier had a printer which required frequent cartridge changes, and the cartridges were very, very expensive. Therefore, the price of the printer was low and the price of cartridge was high. Canon, I think so, it's called Pixma, or I'm forgetting the name. Actually, it's right here with me. In that printer, they completely changed the technology. They changed the technology to cartridges being very cheap. It's liquid cartridge. When the cartridge was cheap, the price of the printer went very high. So instead of paying 2,000 rupees for a printer, I paid 11,000 rupees for a printer, so that I don't have to spend 2,000 rupees on a cartridge and I spend 400 rupees on a cartridge. So you see how the razor-based pricing for the printer completely changed because the razor became cheap. The blade became expensive, or vice versa, right? So this is loss-based pricing. You should be aware of it. I can't think of many products in the cloud space that are shipped this way. If you're aware, please let me know. One very big thing, very big advantage of such model is stickiness. See, you've just sold a hardware device to somebody. I have just sold a Gillette razor to you. Which blade will you buy? Gillette, or will you go buy something else? You will not buy something else. It's useless to you, right? Therefore, there is tremendous stickiness in this kind of capability. If you can crack the nut in building a loss-based pricing model for a cloud-based offering, nothing like it. Because this capability builds moat. It kind of locks your customer in with you. Your customer will never leave you. If I bought an Xbox device for, let's say, whatever, $500, I will buy Xbox games only. Why will I buy Sony games or PSP or Nintendo or any other game? No? Therefore, great lock-in. And that's why they're willing to sell it for a loss, because you build those moats which the customer does not transcend unless and until you have committed a blunder, or let's say your dependent product or your ecosystem is failing. Then only customers switch, otherwise they don't. Okay. Again, something, this may be the last one if I remember. No, this is the second last one. This is where bundling comes in. This is bundle pricing. If you see, this is an Adobe screenshot. They are saying take each of my products for $34. But if you want all my apps, I will give it to you for $80 per license. Okay. Why? I think so all of us know what bundling is. It works very simple. You price me one product for X, but if you want to buy the entire bundle, I'll give you at a discount. Why will I give you at a discount? Because it is efficient. It reduces marketing. My distribution is reduced. It's very simple. I get high revenue, and even more, I get predictability of the revenue. One thing that you have to be very careful of, and I have seen some products do that and then repent later, is when you do bundling, make sure that it is still between your cost and your reservation price. Don't start placing your bundles here. If you start placing your bundles here, great, you are selling a lot, but guess what? The total business value is low. If your individual price product reservation is here, check what your bundle's reservation price may be with your customers. Okay. One last thing which I want to talk about from a pricing model perspective, and then I'm going to change gears and I'm going to wait for questions, is anchor pricing. Now, anchor pricing is very simple. You saw it several times in this screenshot, in my various screenshots, right? Anchor pricing is hooking you onto a value. Like you see, this Oppo phone was for 28,000, is for 23,000. Therefore, I want it. Why? Because I'm getting a heavy discount, 18% discount. You talk to my mother, she will come to me and say, hey, you know what? I'm getting this jeans for 43% discount. I'm buying it. She is so hooked on to anchor pricing that most of her purchases are bought after looking at this struck off price, not this. And maybe she sees this. Anchor pricing works very well with customers who are price conscious or who are discount fetchers. If your customer base is one such customer base, as I said, they are not the early adopters and they are the laggards. They would look for this. Early adopters do not look for anchor pricing. Early adopters, give me for 30,000, I will buy. Okay. So keep an eye. Who is your customer? Where is your customer? And what is the long tail of your customer? You should be aware for your products to figure out what that anchor pricing should be. And therefore, do you even need to do an anchor pricing? Maybe your product does not deserve discounts. Had you sold it for $30,000, still it would have sold. Then therefore, don't do anchor pricing. But it's a good thing. There is a frame of reference, and that's why I said this frame of reference could be both positive or negative, depending upon your understanding of your customer, your understanding of your business objective. Don't just do it because everyone does it. Okay. The answer to any of these pricing model is it depends. It depends on your customer, your business, where are you with the product, your investment, your cash flow, your money, your competition, everything. Okay. One last thing I want to show you on the pricing models, and then I'm changing gears. Look at this, huh? This, I took it from Azure. And this is Azure's cloud storage pricing model. Just look at this for a second. There is some uncanny beauty about this. Just look at this, huh? It says, if you're using my cloud storage solution, write operations will cost you this much. Within write operations, if you're using hot storage, it will cost you more, cool, less, archive, something else, read operation, something else, iterative read, if you want to do repeated read, something else, iterative write, something else, data retrieval, something else, data write, something else, indexing, something else, so on and so forth. Why did I even show you this slide? It looks very confusing to begin with, right? The reason I showed you this slide is, what is your unit of pricing? You need to do your research on unit of pricing. Unit of pricing is basically you are going to charge per what? Is it per user, per transaction, per hour? If you see here, none of these three are there. We are not charging per user, per transaction, or per hour. We are charging per write, per read, per data retrieval, per indexing, per accept delete. For almost everything we are charging, right? Your unit of pricing has to be very clear in your mind. I'll give you as a homework. The homework is you own Amazon search as a service. Okay. Which means you're not just owning the search bar. You are selling that search bar to other customers. How will you charge them? You can't charge them per user, per hour, per transaction. How will you charge if you were to build search as a service? That is where your unit of pricing becomes so critical. Okay. All right. I'm going to take a pause here for questions before I get into mistakes that entrepreneurs make while pricing. This is very interesting, but I'll take a pause. Any questions? I'll take 3 questions if you have any.
Sandeep, I have one question. So, cost is something we can arrive at. Is there any scientific way by which we can arrive at the reservation price? Like how does that part work?
Hold your question for 6 more slides. I'm covering that in this.
Okay, sure.
Any other questions? Brilliant. I just counted 3. No more questions. I'm going to go to pricing mistakes entrepreneurs make. This is going to be a light slide, okay? Mistake number 1. Some entrepreneurs, believe me or not, let customers decide the price. And I will tell you who are those entrepreneurs. Side hustlers, folks who are trying to make money by the side. They are like, and you would have seen that, right? You have seen applications such as patreon.com or get me coffee or buy me a coffee.com, etc. where, oh, I am going to do something. You pay me if you like. Very bad strategy. It's a very, very, very bad strategy. If you are an entrepreneur, one aspect of entrepreneurship and product management is for you to not offload the big decision of pricing to your customers. If you do so, there is a high possibility that the customers will just not pay. See, that intent is not bad. Those entrepreneurs are thinking, I have a price. This guy has some reservation price. I don't know, should I put it $30 or 31? I don't know. I will let you decide. Trust me. And maybe the customer is thinking, oh, I would have paid you $60. But as soon as you let this decision be in the hands of the customer will get super confused because the customer has the same doubts. Customer does not know to pay you 59, 58, 57, and the customer will be in a dilemma. Oh, if I pay you 60, would you feel lowly of me, or should I be paying you more? At times you may see some customers out of that chivalry may end up paying you $100. But you are completely discounting the fact that there will be 10 other customers who love your services but did not buy because you left that decision in the hands of your customers. You are the entrepreneur, not your customer. So don't let this decision be in the hands of the customer. It's your responsibility to come with the right price for your product. It's not your customer's responsibility, no matter how great your product is. Issue number 2 is not being clear about pricing. I personally have used products and not purchased them because the website I went to was not clear about pricing. The only way for me to get pricing was to call their sales team. If you are not clear about your pricing, and by clear I mean transparent about your pricing, you just lost me. If you are, and these are from personal experiences, you will not find any of this material online. These are my experiences. If you are not clear about your pricing on your portal, on your website, in your transactions, or whatever the case may be, which happens a lot with SaaS products or AI ML products, where you say, oh, the pricing may depend on your usage, etc., etc. You still need to figure out what would be the right pricing, what are the right tiers, what are the right slabs. At least give me an anchor price to deal with. Tell me that, oh, this price could be $99. And for actual details, call me. But give me something to dabble with. If you completely leave me lurching in the dark, then you lost me. Not being clear about pricing is an absolute no-no. Third is trying to compete on price. I just talked about it several times in the talk. None of us, I believe, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, none of us are unicorns yet. Okay. Even when you're a unicorn, you don't want to compete on price, because when you start competing on price, it becomes an eye for an eye. As I said, Zomato is selling a chola bhatura for 100 rupees. You will sell for 80. Swiggy will sell for 60. Then Zomato will sell for 40. Customer will win in the short run. In the end, all of you will be blind. An eye for an eye. We only compete on price if we have too heavy pockets and we want to eliminate competition. I pray that a lot of us start competing on price in our future, but that's not how we should think when we begin our product journey. This may be 3 years down the line once all of us are unicorns. Next, not giving the option to price upgrade. You remember I just talked about some freemium, tiered based pricing, volume based pricing. The beauty about those pricing, and that's why they are so popular, is because you have given the customer saying, hey, you start here, but if you want to move up, I am with you. I am going to hold your hand and move you up. And I'm going to give you extra services, and I'm going to charge you a meager amount for that. Oh, you want to grow higher? No problems. I will give you some more extra services, and I'm going to charge you a meager amount for that. But I am with my customer in my customer's journey. I'm giving you the options to price upgrade. Do not start thinking of yourself as a retail kirana store where every product must have a single price model. It may not, especially if we are building IT services, products, capabilities, etc. Then giving a price upgrade could be a very, very good strategy. Last, I think so, is when you start pricing way below the reservation price. And I had this question, how do I find the reservation price? My slide one was, this is cost, this is reservation price. you should price your product somewhere in the middle, because this is your value. This is customer's value. If you have not done your research well, what will you do? You will price your product somewhere here, thinking that, oh, I don't know whether the customer will buy, not buy, etc., etc. Guess what? Customer is super happy. Unbelievable value. You are happy. Customer is getting value and you are also getting some meager value. But guess what? You could have gone all the way higher and customer would have still paid. Why incur this much loss? Don't do that. Don't price it way below reservation price. Don't price it way close to the reservation price as well. It has to be a fine balance. For those of you who understand objective functions, the objective function of your price is that R minus P and P minus C should be maximized. That's where your price is. Okay. Now the question is, how do you find that reservation price? Before that, I am going to tell the last issue that you may make, and that is not getting your value metric right. What is your everything? If I ask price per user, per transaction, per customer, no. When you have your service, you need to understand what is your value metric, what is your per extra, right? What is your per unit for pricing? Lot of people make a mistake here. Imagine I just gave you an example, right? I am Amazon search and I start charging you per user. Biggest mistake of my life. One user is doing one search, another user is doing 100,000 searches and I'm charging them the same value. That's why homework. How do you find value metric for Amazon search if you were owning the Amazon search service? And by the way, think of it like any cloud search service. AWS has search, Amazon has search, Azure has search, GCP has search. How will you measure it? Find your metrics and then compare it with what they are offering. Okay. Oh, there is more. Trust me, this is the last one. This is pricing is not a fill it, shut it, forget it. It's not that, oh, I did pricing on December 21st, 2022. I'm done for the next 5 years. No, you keep revisiting your pricing model and your marketing model and your product model every quarter, every half year, every year. You always keep re-looking at your pricing. It can't be very dynamic, but it can't be static always. A lot of people think it that is pricing ho gaya, chalo chutti. It doesn't work like that way. Especially you can see the government is definitely not thinking like that for petrol. Petrol is changing every 3 days. Pricing is definitely not fill it, shut it, forget it for petrol. So don't do that for your product as well. Keep revising your product of your pricing, because you don't know how the reservation price, how competition, how market is changing, and all of these are drivers of your product pricing. How to find the reservation price? I'm not going to take any questions right now. I'll take questions at the end. How do you find the reservation price? What's the max? See, cost is easy. Cost is your cost. What is the reservation price? So there are various ways to find reservation price. A lot of this I have taken from the internet. Even I didn't know. I had the same question. How do I find reservation price? So one very simple way. If you are building a product capability which can facilitate auctions, auctions by virtue of the word auctions is you go find your own reservation price. Okay. But auctions has a very big problem. Auctions also means customer, you find the price of the product all by yourself. So auctions type products work great if there is novelty in your product. You would have seen quite recently that the NFT for the first tweet sold for $2.5 million or $25 million, I'm forgetting. But the resale price for that tweet is $280. So the guy who purchased the NFT for that tweet ended up spending 2.5 million. Now when he is reselling, he's only getting $280. You get it? Therefore, auctions are a great way to find the reservation price. The guy felt, alright, this is very valuable. People will go crazy about it. But guess what? Not. So if you have auction capabilities, and auction does not mean that you going one, going twice, going thrice. It's not the auction. I'm saying auctioning as a product capability could be an aspect that you find that you use for reservation price. Classic example, I think so, Quicker. Quicker says, I am going to set the minimum price for this product as 40 rupees. You go as high as you want to go, right? So that's in a way auctions, right? Another is that you provide premium options to the customer, which basically means, if you see, right, you are doing tiered pricing for your customer. When you do tiered pricing, and let's say my reservation, you are offering me something for $1, then you're offering something for $2 and $3 and $4. My reservation price for the capability that you're offering is already $3. Okay. Maybe I will settle with $2 because my reservation is 3. I'm more than happy to spend 2 so that I get $1 of value, right? If you provide me with options of pricing, that's a great way for you to validate what could be my reservation price. And then you keep dabbling with these options, the option for pricing. I get something more, but guess what? You're also dabbling with what my reservation is, right? Because I could keep going up and higher if my reservation price is higher. Let's say I'm a guy for whom reservation price is $6. Then I'm like, okay, I'm getting $4. This is enough. And I'll just spend that money. And by the way, your reservation price, don't get confused with reservation price as this is the max I will pay because I have the pocket to pay. At times, your reservation price is completely determined by extraneous factors. And I'll give you a small example here. There are few companies who offer a huge sum of amount to their employees for mindfulness. Okay, I'll give you an example. Let's say your company offers you $100 for mindfulness programs. Okay, I am a product which sells mindfulness services. If I am selling mindfulness services for $20, $40, and $100, and your company is already paying $100, that's your reservation price. No matter what I have here, you will be happy to pay me $100. Therefore, this tiered based pricing will work great. And those who attended last talk, we talked about build, measure, learn. You build your price, you start measuring your price, who is purchasing what at what reservation price, and then you learn from it. And then you figure out, arey yaar, all Microsoft employees are buying this $100 package, which means there could be some other companies who could be offering $120. So therefore, let me add one more service tier and build something for $120 and let's see what happens. The next thing you know, Microsoft guys have started buying $120 packages. Why? Because Microsoft increased this to $120. Great. Add another tier for $150 now and see how people buy it. A very classic way of trying out reservation prices, which is exactly what I mentioned, A/B testing with pricing. For those who are unaware of A/B testing, it is go to half of your customer cohort and give them something for $100. Go to another half of your customer cohort, offer them something for $105. See which one sells. Of course, you have to make sure that A and B are as identical to each other as possible. And you can do it for a localized customer set. You can say, I'm going to test it for only whatever, 10,000 customers here and 10,000 customers here. And I will see who buys what. And if I see my sales are very, very high on 105, it means my reservation price was 105. If I gave 100 also people bought. But guess what? If 10,000 people bought 105 and 10,000 bought 100, it means why should I set it for 100 now? People for 105 are also buying. But let's say in this A/B testing, I find that only 2,000 customers bought for 105 and 10,000 customers bought for 100. I know the reservation price is more 100 than 105. So you can do A/B testing with pricing, which some product companies also do. One very simple thing for A/B testing is to check your competitive pricing and then map it to the value that you are offering. Okay, which basically means if let's say my competition is offering these services for $100, and I believe I am definitely offering these services for $100, but guess what? I have some additional value on top. Then I know the reservation price should be somewhere above 100, right? But for just this table stake, I am offering V1 and V2. Therefore, what would I do? I will say tier 1, only this product capability for 100, so that I match my competition. But guess what? I want to offer you more. I am a better quality, better services, better features. Therefore, they come for 110. And therefore, I am testing my reservation price by checking the competitive price and the value that I am offering. This is it. This is all that I wanted to showcase today. One homework again, please guys, go back, try to do pricing for Amazon search as a service and share with me what your volume unit pricing would be on this WhatsApp channel. And in case you want to listen to anything that I have said earlier and this team that we've been discussing, you can go on Medium, YouTube and LinkedIn and follow what's going on. With this, I'm going to take a pause and I would love to hear any questions from the team.